Hi everybody, I'm Nathan. I do comic book reviews every week because that's the rule around my house. If I want to keep buying them, then I'm supposed to review them. So this is going to be the review for X-Men number 17. It came out this week by Victor Geisler and Jorge Molina. Now, I was really hesitant about this book. I read the last issue, which really led into this story, where the FF and the X-Men are venturing to another dimension kind of thing, an alternate world somehow. To look for their friends, and they run into a bunch of savages and different races and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit off the wall, especially for an X-Men book, and you get a lot more than just the X-Men in it. So you got some references to Skull the Slayer and a couple of other people associated with Skull that I'm not really all that interested in, and then you've got some multicolored dinosaurs and dinosaur-like animals here at the same time, so it's kind of a weird story to jump in on. And then I was really worried when I started to get into the first couple pages, where you can see the inking work over here. Maybe it's really strong and really defined, especially in the wider areas, and then right over here it changes quite drastically and gets a lot more subtle and nice, actually. So there's a lot of like artistic changes or style that isn't exactly perfect in here, and I'm thinking that they started to go with an inker here and then changed, because that's kind of what the little listing says, but they decided to just do it themselves. Jorge Molina did, and I think it turned out really well, and better than the inking or the coloring in this whole thing. Better than even the story writing is the layouts. The layouts for the panels in this are really cool. You get a lot of stuff like this where you have one guy standing in front, and then the boxes behind him. That's pretty cool. And then there are some other ones that I'll show you here. There's some new villains, and then there's a really great repartee between Dr. Nemesis here and Reed Richards, which I particularly enjoyed. Dr. Nemesis tended to find things out that Reed Richards couldn't get into right away. Here's another awesome layout here with his face in front of everything in the middle and his hand in front of this panel, and then the panels down here. It really looked really good. Like, the art got better and better as you got deeper and deeper into the story, even though you have purple and green dinosaurs, which I don't particularly like. I don't like the crazy colored dinosaurs for some reason. It seems unlikely to me, even though we don't have no idea what dinosaurs look like. And here's another good layout too. You can tell this is one that I was particularly interested in, because you have this really striking face with this V shape on Wolverine right on top, and then right below you're standing behind him looking between his legs at the enemies behind him. And together, this panel, while it doesn't fit together, looks really cool. It's a really cool implementation. And the fight scene's okay, and then there's some more alien guys. And then you get some really good splash pages about, aliens and jungle people and humans. So, and then there's a twist at the end, of course. So it was pretty good altogether. I was better than I expected it to be, especially from an art standpoint. The coloring and the inking, I think, made the art good altogether, especially towards the end of the book. The beginning of it wasn't all that great. The story I'm still not sold on. It's kind of an alternate world. It's kind of another race of people or aliens that are trying to attack X-Men. We just had that story, like with the guy coming from Breakworld. I think that was in Uncanny, and attacking the X-Men on Utopia. And now we're in another world with super smart aliens with abilities and that kind of thing going on at the same time. The really cool part also is that the inter-involvement of the FF and the X-Men at the same time. You don't see a lot of crossovers happening like that in little team books like this, so it's really kind of refreshing to see that kind of intermixing of teams, especially, Ben going off to work with Wolverine's team, and Sue going off to working with Cyclops' team, and Magneto staying behind with Dr. Nemesis to work with Reed Richards. It's all kind of mixed up a little bit, and they all kind of do their own thing, and but still have these small pocket groups that you don't normally see together, which is really entertaining. I mean, and then you got all this kind of cool alternate world stuff also. Plenty of aliens and dinosaurs. So there's lots of action in here and lots of sci-fi wackiness. I just don't know if I really care about, aliens dominating the X-Men yet again. So we'll see. It's not bad. It's not great as far as story goes, but I really do enjoy the art and I enjoy the coloring especially. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, probably a high 3 out of 5 to be honest, and probably recommend it, especially if you like, regular wacky X-Men stories that don't necessarily tie into giant events that are happening simultaneously. But there you go. X-Men number 17, 3 out of 5. So if you want to check out other reviews that I've done, you can follow me on YouTube under Spidey207 or under Peteparker elsewhere. Otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you on the next one.